From a massive rock slide blocking a busy tunnel in China, and a freak tornado in Texas trapping a man on a highway, to a menacing dust devil in Spain that almost ruins a pop-up market, and a violent flash flood in Indonesia that swallows 2 houses whole. Here are 8 terrifying natural disasters that were caught on camera. The Chamdou Prefecture is a small city in the eastern Tibet Autonomous Region of China. In the summer of 2017, heavy rains caused severe flooding on what we believe is the Lansangjiang River. Of course, these kinds of floods aren't anything new in China, as they're part of life for those living along any river basin. On July 8th of 2017, the overflowing river eroded the foundation beneath a 5-story apartment complex. Those living inside were evacuated safely and could only wait and watch as the river claimed their former home. Bits and pieces from the first-floor apartments spill into the murky water. The building slides slowly before finally toppling into the water. From another angle, we see the building pulling on power lines as it collapses into the river. Those on the road are forced to take cover, fearing the building behind them might come down too. Drone footage at the end shows the river eating a red truck. Hopefully, those who watched their home fall into the river had a place to go. We can't say for sure what happened to them, as information from China is somewhat limited. Heishui is a mountainous county in Sichuan Province, China. With an average elevation of over 11,000 feet, the community is highly susceptible to avalanches in the winter and landslides in the rainy season. On September 30th of 2021, one of those landslides almost ended in catastrophe. It was a busy morning on Highway 347 in the Aba Prefecture of Heishui County. Around 9:30, the mountain above the tunnel began to crack. Then, it came tumbling down. Dust and debris rise from the mountain as it weakens. Our cameraman takes a few steps back, but we don't think it makes any difference. Giant boulders come racing down the hill just as a few cars are about to exit the tunnel. Miraculously, they stop at the tunnel's edge and avoid getting crushed. The dust cloud eventually swallows the scene, and all we can hear are frantic horns and concerned onlookers. According to local media, the landslide only caused minor damage to a transformer on the side of the road. Nobody got hurt, but they had to sit in their cars while workers cleared the debris. Sporadic falling rocks kept workers from approaching the tunnel, so those drivers probably sat in their cars for several hours. Reports indicated that a 3.0 magnitude earthquake hit Heishui County 6 days prior. They're not saying the quake caused the landslide, but it is a likely suspect. Gainesville is a small city in northern Texas, about 70 miles north of Dallas, near the Oklahoma border. On March 21st of 2022, the first day of spring, Gainesville experienced its first major storm of the year. Heavy rain and straight-line winds tore through the city and greater Cook County. Then, an EF1 tornado touched down nearby. A local man was headed north up I-35 when the storm struck out of nowhere. Luckily, he could stop under a bridge near exit 499 and record, while other drivers braved the 100-mile-per-hour winds.
Truck in front of me. Whoa! Dude! Whoa! dying down. Wow. That was intense. Holy moly.
Our driver can hardly see 100 feet in front of him, and we can't imagine how those truckers can still drive. He rolls down the window, allowing us to hear how hard the wind is whipping under the bridge. Other cars have the same idea across the road, while some decided to brave the elements. Trash and debris fly in every direction, and the storm eventually dies down. The conditions aren't ideal, but it seems safer to drive in. Aside from a few downed power lines and broken trees, nobody reported any heavy damage in Gainesville. Reports say the tornado struck near some barns on FM 1200 and moved south towards Highway 51, southwest of the city. Paradise, California was hell on earth in November of 2018 after a faulty electrical wire sparked one of the deadliest and most destructive wildfires in West Coast history. Dubbed the Campfire after its origin on Camp Creek Road, it caused $16.6 billion in damage and burned 153,000 acres or 240 square miles of land, an area the size of Tucson, Arizona. Everyone packed what they could and hightailed it out of Butte County, California as the fire spread. One couple filmed their death-defying escape as they weaved around other cars and prayed to a higher power.
Heavenly Father, please help us. Please help us to be safe. I'm thankful for Jeremy and his willingness to be brave.
There's nothing but orange flames and burning brush as far as the eye can see. Our frightened wife sniffles, wondering if they'll make it out of this hellscape. Visibility dips in and out as smoke shrouds the road. They're lucky they're on a one-way street. We can't imagine two-way traffic making it safely. At one point, Jeremy, our driver, can't see anything. They emerge on the other side of the smoke to find another car inching across the road. They finally make it through the smoke and away from the fire, and you can feel their collective sigh of relief. We can't help but wonder if that's what the apocalypse looks like. Sadly, some people weren't as lucky as Jeremy and his wife. The Campfire was the deadliest wildfire in California's history. "2,000 miles northeast of Chamdo, in the Liaoning city of Huludao, a skinny tornado touched down near some apartment buildings. On August 25th of 2021, the storm tore through Lijing and Dongshen communities. It damaged 50 residential houses and snapped another 50 trees. The storm also had something against the streetlights, knocking down 30 in the affected area. A few different angles put the full tornado in perspective. We first see it coming around an apartment building. Thankfully, it's only strong enough to throw small debris through the air, which is still enough to break windows and AC units. From a distance, we see the storm passing through the housing area. Aftermath footage shows several broken windows on the apartment buildings. Some people even lost their entire balconies. People gathered in the streets to assess the damage, and the children used the downed trees as a playground. We hope someone was paying attention, since there's probably some broken glass mixed into those branches. Every week, a small pop-up market opens for business in the Spanish coastal town of Guardamar del Segura. Nestled in the southeastern coast of Spain, the weather is usually pretty nice, but sometimes it can have a mind of its own. On May 13th of 2018, a spontaneous dust devil spun up near the market. While it didn't pose any danger to shoppers, the vendor tents were as good as gone. It's hard to see the dust devil as it passes overhead, but you can tell it's doing a number on the tents and items within. Vendors hold on for dear life, not wanting to lose their livelihoods. The storm finally comes into view. It looks more like an angry cloud descending on the pop-up market before moving into the parking lot. There, it takes on the classic tornado shape, pelting the cars with dirt and tiny rocks. Hopefully, our vendors didn't lose too much product as the storm passed. It looked like everything was held down pretty well, so we imagine this isn't the first time they've had to fight strong winds. Mount Asso is a popular tourist destination on the southern Japanese island of Kyushu. Also known as the Asso volcano, its ancient caldera ranks among the world's largest, at 15 miles across and 62 miles around. Those in charge keep a close eye on Asso's activity and close the area off for tourists when things start heating up. On October 20th of 2021, Mount Asso blew its lid, sending an ash plume 2.2 miles into the air. Japanese officials issued warnings to those living nearby regarding a lava flow and falling rocks, but that didn't stop our cameraman from braving the eruption, even when the ash plume was headed right for him. The massive ash plume rises into the clouds. It doesn't look too fast from a distance, but we imagine the thick wall of black smoke is racing across the ground. The mountain already rises 5,200 feet above sea level, so the ash didn't have far to travel. The Japan Meteorological Agency raised the alert level to 3 on a scale of 5, telling people to stay more than half a mile away. There was a small group of hikers who had gone up the mountain earlier in the day, perhaps the ones who captured the images we're seeing. Thankfully, they all returned safely without reports of injuries or missing people. In Lombok, Indonesia, an island off the east coast of Bali, heavy rains caused flash flooding across the densely populated region. Several rivers overflowed, and rising tides affected many coastal villages. According to the National Agency for Disaster, the rain caused extensive flooding in the Kediri and Gerong districts. Nearly 300 homes suffered extensive damage. Some could only sit and watch as the river carried their homes away. The rapids squeeze the last few ceiling panels under the bridge, and the house in the background doesn't look like it'll last much longer. Elsewhere on the river, the water snaps a tree in half and forces it under the bridge. Soon, another house suffers the same fate and crumbles like a piece of paper. In the West Lombok Regency, the floods displaced 6,500 people, destroyed 448 homes, and severely damaged 3 bridges. Meanwhile, flood levels in the city of Bima rose more than 3 feet, inundating nearly 8,000 houses and affecting 39,000 people. If you enjoyed this video and want to see another just like it, then be sure to click the link on screen now. With that, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.